y'all stand and we'll salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is to honor the Children's All-State Choir, which I think most of you are probably here for.
All right. Well, can we have Mrs. Chitwood and our 4 students come on up? We are so excited. Come on. Whenever I heard that we had 4 students make it, I was like, we have to present this to the board. It's so exciting. And Mrs. Chitwood is going to speak more to just all of the hard work the kids have poured in. But I wanted to brag on Mrs. Chitwood because I know she won't do it for herself. She spent so many hours. She would tell me, hey, we're working on this, just making sure that our students had the best opportunity for success. I know some of them were talking about how many times because they get to record, and so they worked very, very hard, but this is also because of Mrs. Chitwood's passion for supporting our kids. And so Mrs. Chitwood, will you share more kind of about your experience?
Sure. The Children's All-State auditions are different from middle school and high school. In middle school and high school, they prepare, they all have the same song, they all have the same cut, they learn that song. But in children's, it's a threefold part of their audition, and everything basically is a cappella and it's recorded. And so they have a vocalise that they are given a starting pitch, and they have to sing up 5 notes and come down 5 notes, and then they have to do that 4 times on different notes. They have a harmonization where a melody is played and they have to harmonize a third above and a third below. And then they also have a short little song that they are given the starting pitch, and then they have to sing it a cappella. And we record all of that. And so it takes us a while to get those recordings just right, doesn't it? And we learn that, we know that I can't say anything if they hear me talk. They are disqualified because they want to make sure that what they are hearing when it's being judged is just the students. And so, so these kids have to last. Some of them we took almost close to an hour, I think, because we want to get the best. We want several takes, and then but they had to put in the work beforehand to get all of that stuff learned. We had rehearsals, and now we are deep into rehearsals for the actual choir, which will be in January, and where they will go and to Tulsa and be with about 110 or so other elementary students, but it's 4th grade through 8th grade. So 8th graders can make this just like a 5th grader can. And we'll spend 3 days in Tulsa, and they'll practice with their clinician from New York and do a fabulous concert on Friday morning. So I'm excited that Sydney, Judd, Hosanna, and Barrett, that they get this opportunity this year. So congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, all of you. That's awesome. The next item on our agenda is to honor. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you guys taking your time out to come.
Thank you,
Ms.
Chitwood. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is honoring our high school coaches of the year, Sean Williams and Carrie Cagle.
For approximately, give or take, I don't know the exact date, but for approximately a century that Bethany High School has been in existence, we had 7 state championships. So 7 state championships over right around 100 years of our existence, which is just speaks to the magnitude of how big a deal that is. Last year we got 2 more, and so we have 9 state championships now, and we were very fortunate, and I'm pleased to announce that we have our two state championship coaches were recognized by the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association as Coaches of the Year for their sport for the entire state, all classes. The first one, girls volleyball, Carrie Cagle. Carrie, Coach Cagle, if you don't know, started the program here at Bethany. She started the volleyball program, correct? And for the 9 years I've been here, all I've seen it do is grow. It just, the number of kids that are involved, the success that's been attained, it's been state tournament after state tournament. And so even though she achieved the Coach of the Year and it's partly because, you know, she won the state tournament, those things, that's part of it. Just the success she's had over the years is unparalleled, honestly. And we're very thankful to have her as a part of our coaching staff. The next one, Coach Sean Williams. Coach Williams is actually our girls and boys coach, so he pulls double duty and just does an outstanding job with both of our programs. We've also seen those since he's been in charge of that. Every year we seem to get a little closer and a little closer to the state finals. And then last year, going on and beating the team that was three-time state back-to-back state championship. Wow. They were the odds-on favorite to win it again last year, and we upset them, and in really their backyard over in Tulsa, and it was just an unbelievable day. And we've seen, and again, just like Coach Cagle, Coach Williams, you know, winning the state championship is again the reason, one of the big reasons why he got it. But really, what's amazing to me is just the way I've seen the program grow, girls and boys, and the success that they've attained over the years he's had it. And so I'm very pleased. This is the first time since I've been here that I've seen any of our coaches get this award. And so this is an enormous achievement, and I'm really, really proud of both of them.
You guys want to say anything?
We have really good kids and parents and support from our superintendent, our athletic director, really the teachers, everybody. I'm a Bethany graduate, so you know, I love this place, but it is a special place. But the kids that come through our programs, you know, they're really good and they're special. So hopefully we can add some more banners.
That's the hope.
And thank you for the new banners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to add a lot more.
Yeah.
We have lots of rafter space. So that was why we did that. But and we'll also be recognizing them again in front of the entire community on the 18th next week.
Oh, great!
On the December 18th, at halftime of the girls' game, someone from the OSSA will be here, Wes Ruth, and he's in charge of both volleyball and soccer, and so he wanted to come and present them with their awards in front of the community.
That's great. Well, congratulations. You guys have done great.
I would say
Good
too,
job.
I appreciate, you know, winning is fun, banners are fun and fun to celebrate, but what I love about both of you is the longevity, the loyalty, the consistency. What I know is win a championship, don't win a championship, our kids are going to be around great coaches, great people, and molding them more than just athletes. And so you've been doing that for a very long time. Both of you have been doing that for a very long time. So good things happen when those things happen. So I'm proud of that as well. But more than that, I just am proud that our kids are around you guys and get to grow from you guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. And you don't have to stay.
I'm going to go to
It's okay.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you
I'm
guys.
gonna go to Kingfish.
Okay.
Yes.
For basketball.
Yeah, very good.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall.
Thank you.
you. Our next agenda item is oath of office for board treasurer.
So I would just introduce you guys to, this is Hannah Acosta.
Okay.
She's doing our treasury and payroll, and something I didn't bring up in the job interview, but to be the treasurer of the school, you have to give an oath at the board meeting.
Okay.
So,
So here we go.
So does she need to come up here? and
yeah, you can
stand-
go ahead and come
up
up
here?
and then
This falls under all other things.
That's right.
other duties are
Other duties.
assigned.
With a little chunk,
Okay.
and just repeat it.
Okay.
Okay, I, Hannah Acosta.
I, Hannah Acosta.
Do you think we're supposed to do the right hand?
Sure.
Okay, let's do the right, let's make sure.
That's an oath.
Okay. Hereby declare under oath
Hereby declare under oath
that I will faithfully perform the duties of treasurer
that I will faithfully perform the duties of treasurer
of Bethany Public Schools,
of Bethany Public Schools,
Independent School District 88,
Independent School District 88,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
all of the duties pertaining to said office
all of the duties pertaining to said office
and obey the Constitution
and obey the Constitution
and laws of the United States and Oklahoma.
and the laws of the United States and Oklahoma.
Good job.
I think you're good.
This part.
Okay, moving on, our next agenda item is the consent agenda. And the first item under the consent agenda is approval of the minutes of the November 11th, 2025 board meeting. Any comments, questions about that? Under 6B, approval of the minutes of the December 8th, 2025 special board meeting. Any comments or questions? Number 6C, discussion and possible action to approve the following contract agreements for FY '25. A, Children's Center contract, and B, contract for Together Fundraising, Inc. Any comments or questions?
Children's Center contract, is that just our standard renewal? Okay.
Yeah, we do it every year in November or December, and it starts up, we just have a partnership with them to provide the educational portion to their kids. And Mrs. Williams could talk more about everything that we do, but there is a financial component that we have to do a contract.
Is there any language change or anything different than last year's contract?
I think you mentioned last time there's some updates of some
We
older
updated just a few. There were kind of some antiquated terms in the contract that just weren't kind of current language that we utilize in special education. So we updated just some semantic things like that, but nothing significant. And it went to attorneys, and their attorney reviewed it as well before they signed it. So
Their attorney and our attorney both reviewed it and gave us the okay.
Great.
Anything else? 6D, discussion and possible action to approve the following out-of-town, out-of-state overnight trips. A, Thespian Festival in Sand Springs, Oklahoma, January 30th through the 31st, 2026, and the Football Coaches Clinic. Any questions about that? Approve the additions to the following activity fund accounts. 1, baseball, 805. 2, class of 2029, 908. 3, middle school student store, 962. Any comments about that? Okay. 6F, approve the financial fund reports.
Okay, so starting off with the activity fund, and just a brief overview of, there's really 5 funds in our school. Some schools have more, but there's 3 main ones that you see a lot. The activity fund is where most of the money, where different activities like sports or maybe choir, just all our activities raise their money and use that money to buy things for their activity. So our activity fund is doing well. All of the accounts are positive, which means none of them are running negative. So that means they all have money to use. The ending balance is right around 700,000, where the starting balance was 754,000. So during the fall, that ending balance kind of went down some as fall activities are starting up and they're using their money. And that's just a sign that they're raising money and starting to replenish it and get it close to what we started at. Moving on to the function summary report. So the function summary report really shows the other 5 funds, and the 2 major ones that we use the most. 2 of the funds are bond funds, which there's just not a whole lot of activity in those. Couple, 2-3 transactions a year. The first 2 pages, the first one is the general fund, and you kind of see on that first page in the appropriations, it says $18,414,000. That's how much the board approved for the budget for the year. We can spend less than that, which would be great, for the CFO. But we can't go over that without the board approving more budgeted. The next 2 columns are your encumbered and your expended. That's how much you've already expended and how much you have encumbered, are POs that have been approved but checks haven't been written yet. Those total $17.3 million, which that means we're in a pretty good place. We don't want to spend just a whole lot more than that. We don't want to use our whole budget. But we're doing pretty well on that. And it's not out of the ordinary for most of your stuff to be encumbered and expended in the fall. Most of your stuff is started up. The biggest cost is payroll, and that's all encumbered, around September is when we have that number in. And it's probably 60 to 75% of the budget. The next page is the building fund, which you do similar things as you do in the general fund. This is obviously more building and maintenance, but you can also do maintenance in the general fund as well. I'd mentioned this last board meeting, but just to kind of recap, we've got a balance of $300,000. The main reasons for that are our track project was a 2-year project, so we had big expenditures at the beginning of this year, end of last year and the beginning of this year, and we don't start receiving funds, our Redbud funds or ad valorem, until January. So that'll go way up in January. I believe half of it's in January and half of it comes in March. So, and then the last sheet is our revenue tracking sheet. This just kind of gives a breakdown of what revenue is coming in. The first column is what we're expecting. This is basically when you see our estimate of needs, what our auditors help us prepare to make our assumption on what we're going to receive. This left column is basically that. That's the funds we are estimating we're going to receive throughout the year. And then the second column is what we've received so far. There's not a lot of changes between last month and this month. We've recorded the monthly revenue, so that is a change. But we're not receiving a lot of new funds. That will probably change. We've had our federal claims. A lot of them have gone through and we'll receive the money later in December. We are starting to receive the federal child nutrition money. We've already received some of that. I think that's everything on the financial reports. Any questions for me?
Any questions?
All right.
I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 6A through F.
A second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Reiner,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes. Going on to item 7. Approve the general fund non-payroll encumbrances for fiscal year 26, number 373-396 for $17,789.60. The fiscal year 26 change orders for general fund, $5,198.74. The general fund payroll, number 70,000-70616, in the amount of $13,384,401.30. And the fiscal year 26 building fund non-payroll, number 18-21, for in the amount of $16,181.73. Any questions or thoughts about that?
I do have a question on item 396, PO 396, the Hall of Honor painting. Is that the one that's right out here in the hallway over the, or is there a different one?
There's gonna be a different one, so
Okay.
that, imagine that,
Mm-hmm.
but similar, same painter, same
Okay.
artist, I
I
should
thought
say.
I recognized the name.
Same
yeah.
artist, but where the Hall of Honor used to be,
Okay, by the gym?
now there's a digital screen.
Yes.
And we're still working on that digital appearance, but we've got kind of a start there. But then around that digital screen, we'd like to have a mural kind of like what you see here. So something that draws attention to that area, but then also that screen that then you would look at detailed people and who's in it, things like that. So should, just imagine, I mean, as good as that looks there, same artist with a similar idea. Now, we would try to look at people, the purpose of this mural was people who have graduated from Bethany Public Schools. That mural will be more focused on people who didn't necessarily graduate from Bethany Public Schools, but had some kind of impact and enter in the Hall of Honor. So, yeah, should look just as good as the one that's in the main hallway here and draw a lot of attention to that area.
Yeah, this one looks great, so I'm sure
Yeah.
that one will as well. Thank you. All right.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve the encumbrances as presented.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Reiner,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action to approve the additions of the following board policies. CKAK, Behavioral Threat Assessment, DOB, Due Process for Administrators, BBF, Code of Ethics for Board Members, GBA, Open Records Request, GBAE, Public Record Access Request, Oklahoma Open Records Act, and BEC Executive Sessions.
Okay, so I'll go through each of these just a little bit of detail. CKAK, the Behavioral Threat Assessment, we have been practicing this, and we actually have a behavioral threat assessment form that we use. It's now required to have a policy in place for that, so this is really easy for us. This is a policy that OSSBA recommends. In addition, they also have a different checklist than what we currently use, and the example of this would be if a student says something maybe related to self-harm or harming others, it would be required to report that, go through a process, which again, we already do this in practice. This will just put it in policy. The checklist will be approved next board meeting based on the approval of this policy. But the checklist is very similar to what we also use, but since OSSBA is providing that one and we know it perfectly matches with this policy, we feel like it's an easy move to that form. But do want to commend our special services for already having this in place, already doing this a number of years that we've been doing it. And now it's just required by law to be in policy, so no big change there. DOB is just an addition of due process for administrators. Again, in practice, we have due process for administrators, but it puts a policy in place that acknowledges certain criteria that if an administrator is struggling on their evaluation, that there are procedures to follow for that. So. Then BBF, Code of Ethics for Board Members. We already have this policy, but there is a couple little slight changes that are probably significant for some reason, but number 5 on that list, it added the word district. So before it says that will comprise the board or administration, but now it says board, district, or administration, so that makes sense, covering the district. And then number 6, it had the word refrain from local board actions locally, and I'm sure that word locally caused some kind of problem if there was something not locally, and so they just took that word out. So just cleaning up some language there. Let me go back here. The next one is GBA open records request. One thing I'll say about this is that we, in Oklahoma, we have received a lot more records requests, and a lot of them have been corporate requests. They're looking for database information. They're looking for, and so what we have already done is we've worked on how we go through that process, and we've got a pretty good system for that. But then also this includes a form that would be required as well, and that's the next one, GBAE. And so what we would acknowledge is that our records are open, but we would have them fill out the form. The form is more to make sure we're clear on what they're asking for. But we have not had any issues with providing open records, and but I will say we have had an increased number of requests in recent years for some reason, a number of reasons maybe, but a lot of times it's looking for directory information and probably trying to get teachers' emails so they can, spam them. So we try to protect that as much as we can. Let's see. One other thing with the open records, that was also a law change that allowed districts to charge in advance. So you'll see some underlying language there that basically states that if it exceeds a certain amount, instead of running through the records, going through all the process of doing that, spending a lot of time and energy that would charge, we're able to charge in advance of that. And I think that was to protect districts from doing all the work and then no one showing up or no one paying. So, so that was a good addition there, and that's the gist of that change. We also have executive sessions, and if you look at that section, there are a couple different changes. The main ones that I'll point you to are number 3, and it says it added new law change to discuss the sale, purchase, lease acquisition, or appraisal of real property by the public body. That just allows a board to go in executive session to talk about purchasing land. It might not be ideal to have to say that publicly if you have competitors, things like that. So that's the main part. There are some other added 8, 9, and 10, and I'm guessing that is just based on some circumstance that happened. You can see those are related to, well, one's administrative procedures, the other one is institutions, correctional facilities, and I'm guessing that there was some district that faced something that they decided to go ahead and add that into policy. But I'm not concerned about that for us. So that's the main aspect there. Any questions on any of those?
Are these triggered by the OSSBA to update these things, or are these school policies that you guys are proactively doing this, or what is?
Yep.
How do these get into these questions?
Great question. So 2 parts. One, we have a contract with OSSBA that anytime there is a need for an update in policy, they contact us and let us know the recommendation that they have. Now, we and the administrators will look at each policy and say, okay, we don't want to change too much because we know they're basing it on some law or change, but we also want to make sure that it fits for what we're doing. Most of these, in fact, all of these in this case, are straight to laws that changed effective November 1st. And so when the law changed, they send these out and say, okay, now that the law's in effect, you need to have these in place. So,
okay.
But throughout the year it does happen. They have a monthly newsletter that sometimes they make recommendations for policy, and you can take it or leave it, but all of these are required by some law that went into effect.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and I don't know do you guys get those newsletters naturally through email? I would be surprised if you don't, but
I
okay.
get some, but I don't know.
Okay, if you don't, I'd be happy to share. They're really good. They summarize them pretty well. you know, I wouldn't say they're interesting reading, but, you know, it does explain kind of some of the trends of the policy. So if you don't get those, I would suspect that you probably get those as board members, but if you don't, and you want the actual newsletter that goes with these, I'd be happy to provide it, so.
Okay.
The policies are this thick too.
Yeah.
The policy book, yeah. the policy book.
This thick, lots of
Yeah,
policies.
just recently finished them.
Also, I'll tell you, maybe a good time to tell you, if you are in Assemble meetings and you go to books, the tab of books at the top, and click on that, all of the policies are located there. We're working, at some point, it may be a while, but we're working to get those titled as well. But you can click on that, books, policies, and then do a search and type in keywords. And so if any point you have a question about a policy or where something might be listed, you can go in Assemble meetings, books, policies, and then do a search. And it's really nice that way.
Great.
So,
That's great.
yeah.
Thanks for that
Thank you
explanation.
for letting us know that. That's excellent.
Any more questions?
Make a motion to approve the additions of board policies CK, AK, DOB, BBF, GBA, GBA-E, and BEC.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
Reiner,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes. Next item, number 9, discussion and possible action to approve the district's capacity of students in each grade at each school site as presented.
So you can see the attachment. This is every quarter we update the district capacities as required by the transfer law. We have kept all the capacities the same. If the numbers, the current enrollment, were to drop below any of the current capacities, we would have to accept a transfer. In this case, we've checked our enrollment again, and we are above, at or above all of the capacities. So at this time, we wouldn't be accepting any transfers during the third quarter, and then we'll do it again in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the district's capacity of students in each grade at each school site as presented.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Reiner,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes. Item number 10, staff reports. Elementary. Let's start with elementary.
Well, obviously, I already got to share one of our really exciting ones, but the other, this one may not sound really exciting, but it's the safety protocols. I wanted to put in there, we have a lot of great measures that we have, like school safe ID and our weapons detection system at the exit office. But something we've been working on, just based on parent feedback, staff feedback, is that we wanted to better utilize the resources we have. And so we started implementing this year having parents pre-register for our larger events. Traditionally, it's just been doors open, and we have a great community, but we also want to make sure that our students and families know that we're also keeping them safe. And so we had a really great response. Parents have been grateful for that, and so now parents can pre-register, they get a link, and then we're able to go ahead and our school safe ID will do like a quick check of those who have registered, and if there are any flags, we're able to check those in advance, and then all of our guests walk through weapons detection, and it went smoothly a holiday meal, and we'll be doing that again this week. So I'm just excited to know that we're doing what we can for our school, because especially our schools are all connected, and so it's just exciting that we've been able to work towards that and have a good response from our parents.
What if somebody comes that didn't pre-register?
Then they check in at the kiosk, and
Okay.
so that's a great question. It's one, but we made sure to let them know, like, that does take longer. You have to like scan your barcode and
Right.
select all the options. So it's a much better option to pre-register, but
Yeah.
if not, they're welcome to
I
attend.
see. That's great.
I'll say on that, really proud of them for utilizing that option. Prior, it really was a situation where, we would record who's coming, we'd give them stickers, and
Yeah.
realistically, it wasn't doing what we should have been doing. And so finding that way to make the pre-registration and everything usually is kind of has hiccups the first time, but I think it went really, really well. And I think communication was really good and helped it. So that was great to figure that out.
That's great.
That's great. I would think most parents are thankful that we
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
as well.
I agree.
So that's good.
Middle school.
So what I wanted to bring to your attention is Aaron Toller. It's not on my board report, but we wanted him to come so we could acknowledge him and what he's been doing recently. And I don't know if you guys are a follower of any of the social media platforms.
No.
If you go on Instagram, he has an account called Make History Fun. and he has the founding fathers and George Washington. And it's the 6-7 craze of all the middle school and high school and elementary now, and he's turned it into the 7-6 from the 1776.
Oh,
you know.
that's
And so
clever.
he's made T-shirts. Like, he has someone from every state in the United States that has purchased this shirt. They're, making comments, they're asking him for all this advice, and then he makes all these new updated videos for people to watch. And what was really cool was 2 weeks ago we went out with my family for my father-in-law's birthday, and I have 2 nephews that go to school in Edmond, and one of them said 6-7, and then the other one said, but it's really 7-6. There's this guy on the internet, and I'm like, I know that guy, and they were just like, what? So, really cool how far it has gone, and he just continues to grow the whole thing. So if you haven't followed it or looked it up, look it up. It is really cool,
I
making
will.
history fun.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
he doesn't like the attention of it, but he's a wonderful teacher and gets everybody following him, and it's really cool.
That's great. That's great. High school.
Okay, mine's the last one on my report. I even printed it off because I found that the first year I was here, I felt like there was a problem that needed to be addressed, and you guys as the board helped address it with me in regards to, specifically vapes was the big thing. And in our handbook it said there would be a drug dog coming. But as far as I know, the last 5-10 years, it never came. And so I instituted that my first year here, and what we've seen is, I even had to call Dr. Bellows today in the morning because it goes right with the drug dog. So we partner with more public schools. More public schools comes by when they're available. We call and say, hey, can you come by in the month of November? We're busy. Okay, just let us know. So we did an outside search this time, just of the north parking lot and then the south parking lot at SNU. And I think we hit on, I think 7 or 8 cars, and out of the 7 or 8 cars, we searched them all. We found nothing. And people say, well, those are false hits. Well, they're not necessarily false hits, because if I do something I'm not supposed to, and I get in Miss Williams' car, and then 2 days later Miss Williams comes to school, the scent for the dogs is still in there. That's how sensitive their noses are. For example, we did find one thing, and they had 2 dogs. They have a drug dog specifically for drugs, alcohol, anything narcotics. Then they have another dog for bombs, weapons, explosives. So we searched them all, go to the south parking lot. Drug dog searches, nothing. The bomb dog searches and sniffs around this car and goes like underneath the truck. It's a lifted truck, underneath the truck, and is lifted and stops. And the guy's like, oh, there's something in there. Let's get the kid down, bring him in. He just bought the car 2 weeks ago from somebody in whatever, different school, different state, whatever. Open the glove box. Inside the glove box, there's 2 empty, way old, like shell casings from an old firearm. That obviously were used, no issue at all. Both the police officers and the SROs were there like, oh my gosh, the kid was like, I had no idea. The drug dog sniffed it underneath the car, in through the car, through the glove box, and smelled 2 empty shells. It's just amazing to see how they work. And I say all that to say is what we're doing is working. We're preventing kids from bringing that stuff to school and setting a precedent of it's not acceptable stuff. Don't bring that stuff to school, number 1. Number 2, I had to call Dr. Bells today because it goes right along with the drug dog, guys. It's the vape stuff that we put in 3 years ago. The first, week, month, my phone was just tinging, just constant. I'd get up, I'd say, Dr. Bellows, sorry, we're in the middle of a meeting, I gotta go. Get these kids, search them, scan them, wand them, send them home, start that process over again. It was almost, I couldn't believe how bad it was. And over the years, it's gotten to a point now where they're not going off. And so I called Zeptiv today, actually, and I said, are these working? Like, is this really working? He said, yeah, this is what happens. You do it right, you enforce it. Guess what? Kids start realizing I can't do it in the bathrooms because I know we have 16 vape detectors in the school, all schools. The hits we get are literally from middle school, 8th grade hallway because they do popcorn. And for some reason, the popcorn sets it off. I called Zeptiv today. I said, why is it go off? They said, well, it's just, the grades say air quality disturbance with the burning kernels and oil in that hallway. That's why it goes in the bathroom. So my phone every Friday is like, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, Dawn, she's like, it's popcorn. I'm like, all right, fine. There. But what I say all that to say a couple things. One, thank you for the support. It matters, guys. I mean, I'm trying to create an environment that's safe and secure, like Chavez was talking about. But also understand, guys, that we're not going to allow that stuff at school. We will never allow it at school. And as long as I'm here, I'll continue to fight that fight and tell kids we want to create a safe environment. Once you're safe, you can learn. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want kids to ever feel like they can't go into the bathroom or they don't want to go in the parking lot because Johnny, Timmy, Sally, Susie, whoever is smoking, and it's just not a good environment for them. So we're not going to do that stuff. And kudos to you guys for approving what we did, and it's been good, really good. We'll continue the drug dogs. They're going to come next time inside the building. So it's always a fun not necessarily fun, but it's how it works is the kids leave the room and the drug dog searches the bags. If a bag hits, we grab it, we take the kid and the bag into the office, we search them, scan them, all the things, and we go from there.
Thank you for doing that. Is it always unannounced?
Unannounced.
Yeah.
Sure.
I will tell
Only
the
way to do
teachers.
it.
Yeah.
I will tell the teachers because I want them to be aware of, like, if I'm giving a test, like Clyde's giving a math test, I don't want him to be like, well, wait a second, I'm in the middle of a math test. We try to give them a heads up of usually the day or the day before. Mm-hmm. But again, it's really just dependent upon more public schools and their partnership we have with them. Mm-hmm. Can they do it? I mean, they left after like 11:30 or 12. They're like, we got to go. We got more calls. We have 30 schools down there. We got to go. Okay, here. Thanks for your help.
I'll add another thing to that because the vape detectors are great, but another thing that they did at the high school at the same time is they realized we need to be out in the halls near the bathrooms where all this stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Then they decided, well, if we're going to be out in the halls all the time, let's get some portable podiums or whatever that they get. So now, you walk in the high school and they're standing out there. They've got their computer. They're getting some things done, but they're right there with the kids, around the kids. I think even some of the other schools now are starting to look at similar ideas of just, we can sit in our office and get the same thing done, or we can stand at a podium where around the kids and do the same thing. So I think it's all the things combined, but certainly also appreciate it's good to know, not guess, but know that those things are not an issue like they used to be. So
yeah.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Have you bought the thing that we approved at the last meeting?
So they emailed me on Monday and said it's shipped.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when it's going to be, and they said it's going to be here soon. I'm hoping this week sometime.
I want to go in it.
Yeah.
This
I wanna see it.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
We all do.
No pressure. This
We're
thing
all
better work.
asking for
The hype is high.
support.
No. I never said that, Clyde. Don't listen to her. I'm not jumping on your. No, I'm not doing that. No, it's
I
going
told
to
you
be
that
here
would
soon.
happen.
100% it will. It will for sure.
Okay, special services.
All right. Well, mine is not nearly as fun, but compliance. So every year we receive a report in November from the State Department of Education, and it looks at two big measures, IDEA compliance and then results and data-driven accountability measures. So compliance, that is set by the federal government sets those parameters. We had a 100% rating in compliance, and then the data-driven results are a lot of that results is test results. So we had 100% rating for our data-driven accountability. So and then our risk score, if you look, that has decreased over the years. So we're at a 0 from this year, and we were a 2 last year. This is like huge. I think this is awesome. So the state sets kind of a threshold for where they want students that are in special education to achieve on standardized tests. And so for 4th grade reading and math, we met the state. We not just met in all of these areas, we significantly exceeded 8th grade reading and math and 11th grade reading and math, which those are the only 3 areas and the only 3 grades. So in all 3 grades, we met and exceeded the state target on assessments. So that is really cool. The other thing is we have been really focusing the last few years on reducing our identification of African American students on IEPs. And we have gone from risk levels to that to we've gone kind of all over the board there. But this year we're just at risk. We're not, a level anything big. And so if you see those numbers
We've gone from a 3 over the last 4 years. We've gone from a 3.5 to a 2.7. And so that we're still slightly above. The state would like us to be at a 2.6. We're at a 2.7. The threshold kind of that IDEA sets is a 3.0, so we're still below that. So definitely making some big strides in kind of compliance and monitoring, so that's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, that's great, thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to be able to see the numbers
Go
trending down the way they are
Right.
supposed to be.
Yes.
So good job.
Yes, and we're hoping that stays.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great. Thank you all. Thank you. We appreciate you guys, and it's been a great year. I mean, so far, been great. So thank you.
Good work.
Item number 11, proposed executive session. What do I do?
Read that.
Huh?
Read that.
I read proposed to discuss the resignation of Janet Barnes, elementary media assistant, and the evaluation of the superintendent of schools, 25 OS section 307B1.
Motion to go into executive session?
Second?
Roll call vote.
Reiner,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes. Bye. 7:24.
Yes, you left at 6:46.
Okay, 6:46. Okay, and we're back from executive session. Let the record reflect that the board voted to enter into executive session at 6:46 and exited executive session at 7:24 p.m. The board discussed only agenda item number 11. Is that right? Yes?
Yes.
11.
Yep.
Yes.
Discussion of the resignation of Janet Barnes and the evaluation of superintendent of schools, 25 OS section 307B1. No votes or actions were taken. So, item number 12, the resignation of Janet Barnes, elementary media assistant, effective December 1st, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the resignation of Janet Barnes, elementary media assistant.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryder?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Yates?
Yes. Item number 13, information items. All school holiday luncheon, December 16th, in the superintendent's office. Okay. Everybody's gonna pile in.
That's right. They're gonna come on through.
Foundation coffee truck, December 16th, and Christmas break begins December 22nd through January 4th. Item number 14, board member comments. Any comments, board members?
I do not have any.
Okay. Item number 15, superintendent report.
Very good. So we've had many concerts this time of year, a lot of programs as our fine arts through all levels have been preparing all semester, and then you have this time where you have a lot of the programs start to begin to happen. But we've had band, choir, orchestra, and even elementary programs that have gone on here in just the last few weeks. We saw our orchestra got a special invitation to open at UCO, which doesn't happen for everybody, and so I think it shows the quality of our orchestra program. They also got straight superiors in a recent competition. Also, our 5th and 6th grade chorus groups performed at the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, and our 5th grade is also going to Southern Plaza to perform as well, coming up soon.
Awesome.
And so, proud of our programs for the programs that they put on, but also how they get out in the community and they share their talents with community members and represent Bethany in these different places outside of just our own school programs, as we've got one going on tonight. And so just it's great that our directors and our leaders are willing to take their kids and get them out in the community so they can hear them as well. So really proud of all those performances they've had. Also, really enjoyed speaking to the Academy of Senior Professionals yesterday at SNU. It was an amazing group of people who were really interested in hearing about Bethany, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about Bethany and share with them just some of the things that we've got going on. And I also want to say that we had a 1st grader, Lakin Radishell, who was the superintendent of the day, and I am going to have to start looking over my shoulder because I'm pretty sure she is ready to take my job. She did such a great job, and I also appreciate the foundation providing those types of opportunities through their auction for students to engage in different activities within the school that gets them into different situations. But that was a lot of fun, and she was ready to go. And then I would say everyone needs to get ready for a little bit of Christmas magic as they come to school on Thursday morning, because I hear there might be some elves on some shelves coming up, maybe during drop-off time, so we're looking forward to that. And then the last 2 things I've got, first of all, we accepted the resignation of Janet Barnes tonight, and I've worked with Mrs. Barnes for a very long time. She's been in Bethany for 21 years as a teacher, and then even her retirement as a support staff. And so just want to say thank you to her for her years of service. I have the utmost respect for her as a teacher. It was really easy when she left and wanted to come back to say, absolutely, we will have a spot for you and find a spot for you. And then when she wanted to go from the classroom to more of a support role, really easy to say, yes, whatever you do, I know you're going to be great at it. So I appreciate her time, and sad to see her resign, but understand as well. And then also want to congratulate Mrs. Massey on her upcoming retirement. She's already put that in through the board, but you know, her time will end here in December, and you know, she has spent 17 years serving this district in a very, very important role. I know Mr. Jasper will say, you know, payroll is very, very important to everyone who works here, and the consistency, the professionalism, the manner in which she engages in sometimes informational conversations, people just curious about things, sometimes tricky situations if something doesn't seem quite right. She always had a way of communicating, explaining in a calm, patient way. It also goes into benefits, and a lot of times those things are tricky because you have a lot of change and a lot of turnover, and I never heard her have a conversation with anyone where, you know, she lost patience, where she couldn't explain things in just the right way, and then not just the 17 years of service, but this last semester has been just critical to the transition. And for her to be willing to take an extra semester and work for us, because this was not for her, it was for us. And what we saw is, you know, she was able to train Mr. Jasper during that time. She was able to train a couple of different employees, and now Mrs. Acosta. And we saw how critical that actually was throughout multiple transitions to get us to a place to where, and the original idea was to train somebody to move in that role. She ended up training 3 different people at different times, and we feel really good about where we're at. All of that happened because she loves Bethany, she's committed to Bethany, and she said, yes, I'll work a little bit longer to help Bethany Public Schools, and things like that just can't go unnoticed. So thank you, Mrs. Massey. We wish you well, and we definitely plan to stay in touch. So that is my superintendent's report.
Great. Okay.